The story begins on a cold November morning in 1957. In Plainfield, Wisconsin, fog rolls low over empty cornfields. A single police car crawls down a dirt road toward the Gein farm, a place the locals whispered about but never dared to visit. The deputy steps out, his boots crunching on frost. He doesn't yet know what horror waits inside. Deputy Warden pushes open the barn door. The hinges groan. Inside hangs something that freezes his breath, the mutilated body of Bernice Warden, suspended like a deer from a hook. For a moment, time stops. The silence of the barn becomes unbearable. Back in town, the sheriff's office is in chaos. Bernice Warden's store stands empty, her register open, blood on the floor. Her last sale receipt reads, Ed Gein, antifreeze. Within hours, a manhunt begins across Plainfield's frozen landscape. When the deputies reach Ed's farmhouse, there's no light, no sound. They enter, lanterns raised. What they find turns stomachs and changes crime history forever. Furniture upholstered with human skin, bowls made of skulls, masks crafted from faces. The air itself feels haunted. Ed Gein is found later that night in a neighbor's house, calm, confused, and oddly polite. "I was planning to come by later," he says softly, as if nothing is wrong. The officers can't meet his eyes. To understand the monster, we must return decades earlier. Young Ed grows up under the gaze of his mother, Augusta, a woman who sees sin in every smile, every woman, every breath. She teaches him that the world is evil and only she can save him. Each day, Augusta reads the Bible aloud, passages of punishment and judgment. Ed listens, trembling. When he shows kindness, she calls it weakness. When he looks at a girl, she calls it sin. His world becomes a cage built from guilt. When Augusta suffers a stroke, Ed becomes her nurse. He feeds her, bathes her, prays beside her bed. When she finally dies in 1945, Ed's world collapses. The house turns cold. Rooms are sealed off, shrines to a mother who ruled even from the grave. With his mother gone, Ed drifts deeper into loneliness. He talks to her empty chair. The radio is his only companion. Winters pass. The farm decays, but her voice stays, echoing in his mind, judging every thought. In the local graveyard, fresh graves begin to look disturbed. Locals whisper of ghosts or grave robbers. No one imagines the truth, that Ed Gein is out there, shovel in hand, digging up bodies to bring his mother back, piece by piece. Inside the farmhouse, Ed begins to craft. Faces of the dead become masks. Skin becomes lampshades, corsets, and gloves. He believes he can feel closer to his mother by becoming her. In Plainfield, women begin to disappear. Mary Hogan, the bar owner, vanishes one snowy night. People whisper, but no one suspects Quiet Ed. He's the man who helps neighbors fix fences and babysit their children. Ed's trophies grow. Each piece of flesh, each bone, a relic of devotion. He reads anatomy books and women's magazines, fascinated by transformation. In his mind, he isn't killing. He's repairing something broken. On November 16, 1957, Ed walks into Warden's hardware store. He buys antifreeze. Bernice Warden turns to write the receipt. The gunshot echoes. He loads her body into his truck and drives home through the fog. Hours later, her son, the deputy, finds the empty store and Ed's name. By nightfall, the Gein farm is surrounded. The nightmare is about to unfold. The farmhouse becomes a crime scene from another world. Investigators catalog horrors, masks, corsets, skulls turned into bowls. Each discovery feels impossible. Even hardened men vomit or weep. At the sheriff's office, Ed speaks softly, almost kindly. "Most of them were dead already," he says. His eyes are calm, as if discussing weather. He doesn't understand why they're horrified. Doctors declare Ed insane. He is sent to a mental institution instead of prison. Reporters call him the Butcher of Plainfield. The small town becomes a symbol of American darkness. Hollywood finds its new muse. Norman Bates, Leatherface, Buffalo Bill, all born from Ed Gein's shadow. The nation's nightmares suddenly have a face, and it's painfully human. Decades later, the Gein farm burns to the ground. No one claims it. No one mourns. Only ashes remain where terror once lived. Ed lives quietly in a mental hospital. He paints, tends the garden, and listens to the radio. When asked if he misses home, he smiles faintly and says, "My mother's there." In 1984, Ed Gein dies of cancer. His grave becomes a target for vandals and collectors. Even in death, people can't look away from the monster they made him into. Plainfield changed forever. Parents locked doors. Children whispered his name as a dare. For decades, no one wanted to talk about what happened, but everyone remembered. When we look into the story of Ed Gein, we see more than madness. We see what isolation, guilt, and obsession can carve into a human soul. A man turned into a myth. And a warning. Today, the cornfields around Plainfield grow quiet again. The wind moves through them like a whisper. The same whisper that once hid a monster and now hides a memory.